Good morning, everybody. Tina here, and Lucy, reseller mom and Amazon tips with Tina, doing our weekly Friday live. So
Good
today we
morning.
have a variety of topics this morning, all kinds of stuff. We're all over the place this week.
It's Friday. I'm excited that it's Friday.
Take one.
Huh?
My little movie thing.
Oh, yeah.
Bloopers, take one. Yeah.
I am still trying to get some things opened up, but that's okay. All right.
So,
Where do we want to
what
start? You
shall
want to
we
start
talk
with?
about first? We got so many topics this morning, so many topics.
Let's do announcements and advertising things first. Let's get the
Okay.
business done first, and then we'll move to fun. And I'm trying to. I had a guy wander in here, so that's what I'm. I don't know what he was
That's why
doing, but
she's all distracted because we were about to go live and some guy just walked into her warehouse and like,
yeah,
oh, I
he
don't
looked.
live here.
Yeah, like what? What is he? Who's coming in? What are they doing? I don't know what they're doing. And then there's like office furniture moving going on two doors down. So let's see here. Yeah, I want this one. I'm gonna hit that. Okay, so first up, big thing with in, and now my son is calling me. No, I. Oh my gosh, this is just a busy morning for me. All right, Inventory Lab did an update. If you all noticed, when you go to add things, they've got oh, this says like Amazon's not on it. And then I noticed one that if it's in hazmat status, it will have a little hazmat button. And I guess if you're restricted, which I have not come across, it will say
I
restricted.
haven't come across that either. In fact, when I first ran across this the first day I was in Inventory Lab and saw it, I was like, oh crap, I'm restricted. I thought this meant I was restricted when this popped up. I didn't realize that it was just a drop down to let us know that Amazon restricts certain conditions. And usually it's used condition, and they only allow new condition. And some of you might think, well, why would you be selling it unused on Amazon anyway? You can sell things used on Amazon. And there, like, think of books, for instance. That's a big category that people sell things in the used condition. And for those that are the thrift store shoppers that sell on eBay, you can sometimes find things that are you are actually allowed to list as in used condition, which I think also eliminates you having to have an invoice for it. Now, I wouldn't go selling used Prada, but there you have it.
Yeah, I found this really good for me because I list a lot of things that go through the hazmat process and it takes about 4 days. So anytime I do any liquids or gels or whatever, it's going to go through that hazmat process and then it comes out good. But what I like is the old way is you'd had to click in, you had to enter in all your like cost of goods and where you bought and all that good stuff, and then enter in all the dimensions, and then it would say, yeah, it's still in hazmat. I'm like, ugh. But this is now shows me and I'm like, oh, okay, I don't have to enter in all that stuff. So I
Yeah.
have a little pile out there now for things this week that I are stuck. Nate asks, first of all, good morning, Armand. Good morning, Nate. How are you guys doing? And everybody else watching the stream right now. Nice to
Yeah.
see
Good morning.
faces. How do you set the ideal buy alert? I believe that's all in your settings. Are you asking on the phone or on in the dashboard? Either way, you go into your settings, and if I remember right, you can set an ROI. You can set a specific profit per item, if I'm remembering right, but I haven't done it on the phone very much.
Yeah, I'm trying to look right now while you're talking. Yeah, so if you go hover over your name in Inventory Lab in the very far right corner, it gives you a drop down menu. Within there is settings. And off to the side, you have the certain different categories you can go through. So let's see, under
You can set your
general.
ranks there. I went through
Yes.
eons ago and set my ranks based off of was it full time FBA? Who's Steven Smotherland? It's not Smotherland,
Yeah,
but
Stephen
it's
Smothers.
close.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got a rank sheet that I got when I first started, and I went off of
Yeah,
that.
you can even input, like I have 49 cents a pound for my inbound shipping rate
Yep.
set under calculations. You can also enter in your sales tax rate if you want it to set your calculations on that, especially if you're doing some retail arbitrage and you're paying taxes. You can set your desired ROI under the research tab. And that's where a lot of the magic is at. In fact, I will share my screen here. Well, actually, you have that open. Give me a second. Can you share my screen for me, Lucy?
Yes, ma'am.
So here on this on the side is research. I have my desired ROI at 40%. This is what gives you that ideal buy is on, where it gives you that thumbs up. It's because it has met that criteria. And then I went down one by one and entered what percentile I'm willing to accept it to be as my ideal buys for every single category. And this will give you that green thumbs up if it meets your rank threshold. So how you do that is you hover over your name. There's a drop down menu. You get settings, and then you're going to come over here through all of these tabs, and you can fill in that information right in here. And here's where that shipping rate is, your profit default calculator.
The other thing that I do like doing, I'm going to go back to mine. The other thing that I like doing on that sheet or on that settings is under general, the MSKU builder. That's where you go and you build it so that your SKUs get whatever standard you want. And I do store name underscore cost of goods underscore random number. You have to have a random number in there so that you have different SKUs for everything. Good morning, Reno. Nice to see you.
Good morning.
The chat. All right, so that was a good update with Inventory Lab. Just some other announcements. Seller Board has said by the end of the summer they will have a workflow to go shipments into Amazon. So I'm really excited about that. We are also going to be interviewing
Carbon 6, I think it's
Carbon 6 on the channel here. So I'm setting that up. We don't have a date yet, but we will be interviewing Carbon 6. The two big ones for software companies right now are Carbon 6 and 3 Colts. They buy up a lot of the other standalones. One of the things that Carbon 6 is really known for is they have a Walmart. They have stuff for Walmart sellers. So that's really exciting. And the guy that developed that software has done a lot of software development in our community. So really, really liking all of that. And I'm excited to see what they will bring and tell us. What else? I thought there was something else. Anyhow, if it comes to me, there was something else in my brain. It will come to me. We're going to move on for right now. All right. This one was really cool. We're going to show you the walkthrough on how to get to this. And I will try to share a link here in just a second. But what we discovered that's been helping us with advertising is going in and you can go to your different campaigns and run this diagnostic tool, and it will tell you what's wrong with it. So really quickly, we're going to go to how to navigate that if you are watching and want to follow along. If not, and then I'm going to show you, I pulled one for y'all to show, because it's not always great, but it is better than nothing. So from do you want to go through these and I'll click?
Sure. So when you are going into how you would traditionally open up a case in Amazon, I was helping one of my clients because I'm having a problem with their advertising. So I have never in all my years of selling on Amazon clicked the second option, advertising on Amazon. I've just never done it. And so through exploring, found a really cool tool completely on accident. So what you'll do is when you go here to open up a case, you're going to click on advertising on Amazon instead. And then that brings you to this page. Now, I have not taken the time to go through every single one of these options, and there's a lot of information in here. But I chose sponsored products next. And then it's so many steps, it's ridiculous. No wonder I've never found this before.
There's probably a quicker way. We just don't know it.
There probably is. Yeah, this is just how I found it. So then I clicked on sponsored products again. And then it brings you to this page. At the very top of this page, there's a video. So if you happen to be following along later on these steps, you are on the right page. Just scroll to the bottom of it. And there's the tiny little button there at the bottom that says contact us. Then you're going to click that. That brings you to this page where you can choose from the drop down menus of what you want. And this allows you to open up a case to Amazon's advertising department, not just your usual case department. Well, once I was in here, I noticed they had over off to the side, troubleshoot your campaign with this little diagnostic tool tab. And I thought, well, that's interesting. Let me click it. And this is where the magic is. So in here, it will bring you to this page. And this is in your Amazon ads. And you will, I actually think it takes you to a different page before you get to this one. There's a couple of drop down tools that you have to get to. So I don't believe that this is next in the steps. But anyway, once you
This
get
was
to
next
here,
when we were just doing it.
nope, there was two little deals that you
That's
choose
this right here.
one. It wasn't that. There was something, unless I'm wrong. I may be wrong, but it took you to somewhere else. But anyway, you get to this diagnostic tool, and what you do here where it says search by sponsored products campaign, the box next to it where Lucy has purpled out, if you are running ads already and you're not getting clicks, let's say you're not getting any impressions and clicks on an ad, and it just has you perplexed as to why. And this is what I was running into with one of my clients. So in this box, there is a drop down menu next to that X at the end of the box, right next to submit. There is a drop down arrow. What will drop down is the names of all of your advertising campaigns. So you need to know what the name of your advertising campaign is. And this is where it's really important to name your ad campaigns things that make sense to you. So you'll choose your ad campaign, then below it will drop down information. Now, you may have one information like Lucy has here on the one that she chose, or you may have lots of things. And in severity, for instance, with my client, how Lucy says optimization is what it's recommending her to do, theirs said critical, and the letters were in red. And it told me why and what you could possibly do. And then under the action tabs at the end, mine had, if you feel that there's an error, or they tell you, we recommend that you contact us. They tell you that you should contact us. And then I clicked that menu, or I clicked that option under the actions tab. So for Lucy's, on the one that she chose, hers was recommending better optimization, and you could download the recommended keywords from Amazon.
All right,
Or
so I
you
want
can
to
add
take
the
over because I
recommended.
got a lot to say about this one. So I take this whole thing with a grain of salt because I have been playing with it all week, and some things have been great, some things have not. One of the things that was really silly in my head is that I would get critical severity because it was out of stock. And I'm like, well, of course it's not going to, when your stuff is out of stock, it's not going to advertise. So, okay, I can see both things there. And then I'm going to dive into this one because this one is of a product that I am having trouble, and my diagnostics for working with ASINs that aren't moving, and these are private label stuff, both for customers and for myself, fiber customers that I work with. One of the things that I will do is I will go in and I will rearrange the title. I will rearrange the words in the title. I will rearrange the words in the bullets. I will rearrange the generic keywords. I will rearrange the description and or rewrite the description. And I will, hack apart the keywords. My go-to right now, just for speed and efficiency, is to take the title of my product, go over to ChatGPT and say, rewrite this title, find me the keywords. Now with ChatGPT, some things make sense, some things don't. With things like keywords, they will give it to you with commas, and you don't want those commas. So then I will copy paste them into Word, do the find and replace, take out my commas, then paste them back into the listing. I will change up the cover picture of of what it is. If you really need to do a hard reset, because I've had a few people ask me about this week, you can, like, say there's something jacked with your ACE and you can't do updates, you can't get it to move, blah, blah, blah. You can open a case and ask for them to do a hard reset on the ASIN, but they're really trying to get you to delete your listing in ASIN, wait 24 hours and relist it, and that will kind of clear any glitches. There's been a lot of glitches. So if you need to clear a glitch, that's like the hard, like, last step to do it. So this kind of is helping me direct and guide me on, okay, they think my keywords are messed up. So I went ahead and I pulled them. This is my freaking keywords. I was like, are you kidding me? None of these are great. This is a blanket set, obviously. And they want me to keyword blanket. No, that's stupid. Straw blanket. My blanket has nothing to do with straw. I have no idea why that was coming up. And then their bid campaigns that they want me to do were somewhat outrageous. Almost $2 a click for the keyword print, because it's got print on the blanket. That is ridiculous. So clearly this system needs some work. Whatever AI is behind this was not ideal. So I would not, like, you got to really analyze on what they're telling you. Just
you're going to take it with a grain of salt. So let's say, for instance, your blanket and the keyword blanket in there, they're suggesting, but let's say your blanket is a solid gray blanket. Your keyword could simply be gray blanket. So you could kind of just expand on their suggestions. I was working with somebody last night through Fiverr, and we went through their advertising. And so just because Amazon says that they are suggesting that you spend $1.50 per click on a particular keyword, like blanket in this case, when we were looking at hers, her suggested rate, I can't remember the numbers, but it was something like Amazon recommended that the low end bid was 45 cents per click and the high end bid was 69 cents per click. And so a lot of people feel like they need to do what Amazon is recommending in that bidding price range. She had hers at 20 cents, far below, half below Amazon's lowest suggested pay per click on the bid. And even with that, she had already spent in a month's time over $100 in clicks on that 20 cents. And this just further confirmed my speculation that Amazon is going to take your money no matter how much you want to spend per click. And she was getting sales with that ad click, but not enough to justify her ad spend. And I mean, she got a lot of clicks to spend over $100 at 20 cents a click. But it was a very blanket keyword, like that word blanket. So I told her, let's, knock that one down real cheap to 2 cents a bid on that very broad keyword like blanket. And let's make yours say pink blanket, right? So it was more specific, because we also want to be specific in the words we're using, because the word blanket would be broad. But if someone is specifically looking for a pink blanket, you would much rather pay for a bid click on pink blanket when you actually have a pink blanket. You're more likely to get the sale.
Absolutely. And I've been going more longer tail. So I'd be like pink blanket for dog, or for baby shower, or for little girl, or for lover of unicorns. I don't know, whatever you need to do to get your audience matched with your product.
That's right.
The other thing Amazon loves to do is they send me these emails, and I got to get off of them, on advertising suggestions. And every single one is to spend more money. Every single one is to spend more money. You know how I can make more sales? I could spend more money. You know how you could get the buy box more? You could drop your price. That's Amazon's go-to. So
yes,
if you know that that's their go-to, you don't always have to believe it. Just like if I were going to go buy a car, we all know that the car salesman's job is not to make sure you have the best car for your situation. That's not their job. Understand that that is not their job. Their job is to make the most money for themselves and for that car dealership. And that's okay. I'm not upset about that at all, but I'm not going to go in there thinking he has or she has my best interest at heart. I know what their end goal is. Their end goal is to make the money. And my end goal is to make the money, and Amazon's end goal is to make the money. Amazon's goal is not to help you out. It's not. I wish it was, but it's not. And that's okay. So always think whoever you are doing business with, there is always some reason why they are doing things the way they are doing. Whether and it's okay. Most of those reasons are okay. They're usually, it's life. We've all got to pay our bills, right? So don't get mad about it, but just understand it so that when you're doing business with them, you know how to make your decisions best for you, not whatever they say necessarily.
And
Okay.
if you guys liked this feature, or you've never heard about it before, give a thumbs up on the video if you like it. Plus the thumbs up on the videos helps us in our algorithm on our YouTube channel, and we always appreciate you guys doing that for us.
Yes. Yeah, and that's like that is a way that you can help any channel out is by giving them
Yep.
thumbs up and watching them, etc. And also subscribing to Tina. We're trying to get Tina to 1,000 subscribers so she can monetize because Tina gets nothing for these videos. Like she works for free right now for you guys, but the hopes is to build up the channel so that she can get a little bit of, um, you know, what is it called? When you get money, passive income. There we go. Words. I gotta drink more coffee. Passive
That is
income.
paid to us by YouTube, not from anybody
Right.
here.
By
So
ads on YouTube. So I mean you guys know what the deal is. We're here, this is why we're here, etc. And our goal is to provide good content for you guys and in hopes we get a little bit of passive income, and that's the trade-off. Like it's a job. All right, so we're going to dive into bolos and exciting stories. So Tina has a really cool one. I got to bring her
yeah.
up with me. So hold on.
So we started this summer during our slow time. Every year during summer is my slow time on Amazon, as I'm guessing it is for a lot of you as well. So when it is slow, we try to do other things. I usually try to learn a new skill. Lucy and I have been playing with some Google Sheet stuff, which really is too much for me, easier for Lucy, because she's just that analytical gal. And for me, it's the creative stuff. I like making merch shirts for Amazon or the KDP books. I like to do this kind of stuff during the summer because it's when I have more time to do it with slower sales and not being out in the stores like Q4. So this summer, what we've been doing is we decided to up our eBay game again. I've always sold on eBay, but it's always like a passive thing. I have old Amazon inventory that didn't sell, or it was a return that I can't send back into Amazon. So I just put it on eBay to get rid of it. But I started with eBay. So I decided to go back to eBay. So I did do one Goodwill thrift haul on my channel, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And I'm probably going to start doing more if you guys are interested in them. But we went out on Wednesday to some thrift stores and I bought a lot of clothes, but I bought two really fun higher ticket items. These I knew about from back when I used to only do eBay. These back massagers. Usually they aren't still in a box. So this one, Lucy cracks up because she doesn't think people buy them to massage their back. Wink, wink. Anyway, usually they're not in a box. It doesn't matter. They sell great out of the box. You will look them up. Usually on the massagers, it will have their model numbers. This one, of course, is on the box, this EV 290 of this one. But anytime you find them, if it's Conair, Homedics, whatever it is, and you're wanting to look them up against on eBay, on the massagers themselves, how they have those raised letters, sometimes the same color as the plastic it's on, it will have that model number. So this I have my receipt right here because we peeled it off to take pictures of it. But I paid for this one $6.98 for this. And the Panasonic brand, the Panasonic name for massagers is always my highest selling one. The name Panasonic for these fetches you more money than anything else. Lucy's removed her because this just cracks her up because she's got a dirty mind.
I'm sorry.
Okay. She has to remove her so she can't quit laughing. My next item is like every time I go out, I always find like one really high ticket item that will pay for like everything I spent for the day. When we went out the other day, I spent $41 and $25.91 were my two receipts. And it's like that is far less than I spend on Amazon to make the same, I make more money. I make more money with less output on eBay than I do on Amazon. So it's really fun to do. So my next item, we were in the thrift store and my husband sees the back end where they're rolling out the cart to put things into the store, and they're rolling out these giant Statue of Liberties. And he goes, "Oh my God." He goes, I'm gonna follow them. He goes, I want to see those. He loves everything New York, and because he's the East Coast guy. So he grabs one of them and puts it in the cart. It was $5. The sticker's still on it. This giant Statue of Liberty. I mean, look, this thing, I'm only 5 feet tall. And if I send it next to me, here's the top of it. So I'm guessing this is like 3 feet tall Statue of Liberty. It's plastic. It's got a cord on it because her fire thing lights up. And the price tag is still on it. Where's it? Right. I don't know that you can see it. $5, you guys. $5. There were 3 of them. He grabbed one. We couldn't find it on eBay for the longest. So the other 2 were still sitting there, and I'm kind of shopping around and looking through my phone. I finally found it. We pulled up the listing. It was still active on Wednesday when I was in the store. Do you have the screen of this is not mine that sold? This is the one I found that day. Look what it sold for, you all. It's already sold. This ending has listed $275 and shipping at $75. And so I paid $5 for this thing. $5. I mean, that made my day. And
not the massager. And
look, we've all moved on from the massager. So $275. So when I finally found it, I walked over to my husband. I go, look. And so we go over to get the other 2, and I'll be damned if a lady didn't already have both of them in her cart. Well, then when I go to check out at the register, the lady ahead of me, she goes, excuse me, ma'am, didn't you just have 2 of those in your cart? I see you have 1 now. She wanted to go get that other one. I told her, no, that wasn't me. It was another lady who had the other 2, and that they had only had 3 of them out there. So anyway, that was cha-ching. So if any of you are eBay sellers, let me know, because I'm happy to make some videos of the crazy crap I find when I go out. But look, 300 there almost, right? So 275 there. Almost $60 for the massager. Now, let me tell you, when I say I spent $41 at the first thrift store, $25.91 at the second thrift store. The first thrift store with the bill of $41, it's because we also bought a knee scooter for my husband. And we paid $20 for it. So, I mean, $20 of our spending was for personal stuff. And my husband had a total ankle replacement. He has mobility issues and cannot walk. And this is why we do this home-based business is I have a husband who is disabled without getting disability. You know, that's something that I don't often share with people. So we work really, really hard in order to pay our bills and get to stay home, because I have a husband who cannot have a traditional job like everyone else due to his mobility. And we found this knee scooter. And so he was using it there in the store. And I've always thought one of those would come in handy so he can keep the pressure off of his foot and his ankle while we are out and about. Because I like to get to go out more, but we can only go out together for a window of time because he can only walk for so long. And he doesn't like to go in a wheelchair because he's like, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, that was really cool that we found that knee scooter too, because those are over $100 and we paid $20 for it.
That was a really, really exciting thing.
It was really a fun day.
Those are like such fun stories and really get us hooked into flipping things when you can find something and flip it. And it's just exciting.
Yes. And my online journey began on eBay. So I just found that I could make more on Amazon, because with eBay, you always have to be out there in the stores. You're always looking stuff up, and you always are getting one of a thing, right? Because you're in a thrift store. Where with Amazon, we can find a wholesaler, or we can go to Walmart and we can find an item that's great. And then we can order as much of it as we can possibly afford to buy, or however much a store has in stock. So let's say I was lucky enough to find these Statue of Liberties, for $40 wholesale, and I could order 100 of them, versus that I just got lucky and found one in the thrift store. So, I mean, these are the pros and the cons of Amazon versus eBay. But I will say, always with eBay, my ROI on my investment is always a lot higher. So, you know, consider
Definitely.
doing eBay during your slow times, guys. If you're slow this summer or funds are an issue during the summer, hit those thrift stores. You may be surprised what you can find.
I am also, garage sales are like a great place to
Mm-hmm.
grab things like that.
Oh,
We've had a
yes.
lot of good deals going on. The weather is now very nice up here. I'm having my garage sale tomorrow. I am clearing out anything that I damaged out from, I don't know, last October-ish to now-ish is going into the garage sale. And then I made the family, do a little purge in their closet, and we have a couple pieces of furniture that just need to go. We got lots of crud at the house that we are going to purge out tomorrow, but we also have a very, everything kind of needs a system. Like at work on Friday, I had my little pile. I damage out my returns from Amazon, which if you guys haven't done this already, you may want to go in and fix your return settings, because returns are now costing an arm and a leg. I went through those fees the last couple of, March, April, May, and I was like, oh my God, it would have been better just to liquidate or dispose of than have it returned to me, because I don't know, unless if you're sending in high-end clothing or shoes. If you're sending in smaller items, just be on top of that, because the fee structure changed in January, and it's a lot more than what it really ought to be, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's really a nightmare. I've began merchant fulfilling quite a few items, and
Mhm.
I've been able to luckily sell them merchant fulfilled, where I always swore by only FBA in the past. But with the increases,
Yeah,
some of my bigger items, I am listing them merchant fulfilled.
exactly. Exactly. So anyhow, my system is to go through my rejects on Friday and damage out
Hmm.
whatever I need to damage out, and then it either goes into my bag that goes to Goodwill, or it goes into my garage sale pile, or it goes out to the dumpster. And then at home, we have this garage sale, and after the garage sale, nothing's coming back in my house. Like, we have a plan to offload everything. I'm not packing it up it's done. It's going to
Yeah,
wherever. So I wanted to bring up this guy just because he was, my husband really likes
I've
his.
seen him.
I
I've
love him.
seen
I
him
love his
before.
videos. We love watching this like in a cup of coffee on the morning, on the weekend. And he likes the ones for Costco, obviously, because we go to Costco and we want to know, you know, like what's the best air conditioner, or those big buys. But I noticed he started doing ones for the Dollar Tree. And he goes through and he literally shows you the bolos. He's like, this is at the Dollar Tree and it's going for $12 on Amazon. And, you could buy it here. And I'm going, oh my God, it's a bolo sheet. So I sat down. I'm like, watch the Dollar Tree ones. I need to see what's hot at the Dollar Tree. He goes over the new name brands. Like when Dollar Tree starts getting name brand stuff in, he highlights that. I'm going, oh my God, somebody's doing all my work for me. I always
Yeah,
love
he's like the nerdy fun guy that shows you the deals.
it. He's entertaining. I like him. My
I
husband
do
always
too.
he likes there's a cruise ship guy, and this whole job of this cruise ship guy is he goes on cruises and then he tells YouTube about it. I'm like, how do I do that job?
I have said that for years on the vacation channels of people that get to go to all of these great vacations or the Airbnbs and talk about all the fun things to do in that town. It's like, I want that job.
I
Where's
know.
the application for that?
Same with there's one lady that he watches that does all the Disneyland things, and so she's got to go to Disneyland all the time and check out the new restaurants. I'm in the I'm in the wrong business, but I don't know. I don't know how I could get into that. So I wanted to just we are starting to go. I know it's June. It's a little early, but it's not that early because Q4 is going to creep up on us, right? We got to have a little serious talk. I know everybody's in the summer slump. Everybody's sales are a little low. We've all had that verification BS going on. It's just been a nightmare of a nightmare. And we have Prime Day coming up. I don't really do a whole lot for Prime Day. Do
I
you?
don't either. Never. I tried my first few years. I was excited, and then I realized it didn't make a difference. So I don't do anything for Prime Day different whatsoever. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't. But for me, I do nothing. I business as usual.
Yeah. And I know, like, some people that do private label stuff, they'll run deals or sales or promo codes or whatever. So if you're doing more private label stuff, maybe you want to do that. If you're like us, mostly retail arbitrage type of stuff, that's, I don't know. We don't have, to me, Prime Day is like the big ticket items. You know, TVs are going to be on sale. It's a good time to look for things. I'm on the lookout for a new printer, like a Dymo, but I'm thinking about a Rollo. I don't know. I'm just looking, just kind of looking. Prime Day and Black Friday are my go-tos for that. So what we're starting to do is look at what performed well for us last year. What did well, and how can we improve on that going forward? So I just wanted to share,
Yes.
this is one item that I was selling quite a bit. It's a custom bundle. We're pretty active in our bundle group down below. We are making bundles. Tina's going to be doing a back to school thingy sometime. I don't know. I saw your post yesterday or today about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I wanted to do a fun back to school. It's
Yeah.
a little too early now because these things are not in the store, but I do want to start it before those things are in the store. I'm thinking sometime in July, starting some back to school talks of bundles and things that we can jump on because I do very well during back to school. So a lot of people wait for Q4 and they're waiting for Halloween to get here and to do the costumes and the candy and the decorations and the things like that as just the cherry on the top of your usual replens and your usual sourcing. You know, holidays just give us that extra. And but it really begins at back to school. You can really start your Q4 during back to school, which is really at the tail end of summer. And it's a double whammy because when you go in these stores, there are already a ton of clearance sales because they're getting rid of the summer stuff to start putting the Halloween stuff in the stores well before Halloween is ready. So you're out there sourcing back to school, and there's a slew of clearance sales that are out there. And when the back to school comes out, if you are clever at making listings and you're clever at making bundles, there's huge opportunity in back to school, and it gives you really good profits to spend on Q4 inventory.
So this is one of the bundles that we made last year in one of our groups, and it had a very low cost of goods of $3. It was mainly out of Dollar Tree stuff. We had like one other thing. We usually source from 2 different locations. That's a good thing to note if you are going to do your own bundles. Usually source so that other people can't jump on them. And the margins, it was a $9.99 because that was back when we wanted to hit that small and light.
Small and light,
So it
which
was
is
buy
now at
for,
12.
yeah. You could sell for 374. ROI was 108%. So your bundles don't have to be super elaborate, and they could be just quick things put together. I'm gonna throw up this really quick. Let's see here. Yeah. She's talking about back to school bundles. Some of these are very complex, and there's something to be said with complex bundles. You get a lot. You look at these and you're like, oh my gosh, I get a lot of value for 54, $30. I don't know how this one for 20 pieces is 114. I think that's a mistake. And they're sponsored. So what do you get with that? Do you get a massager? There's some back to school bundles that are going to be a little bit more simple. I don't personally like making things this complex unless if I can guarantee that I can get all the items. But start thinking about it. Here's one that's fair. It's only got 3 items there. Disney back to school. It's ranked 135 already. We haven't even gotten into the depths of back to school yet. So take a
I like
peek.
that pink one. That one's cute.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about Barbie?
Oh yeah, that was last week. Last week I wasn't on the live, as you guys know. We had a funeral that I had to attend, and it wasn't too sad. I mean, it's sad when somebody passes, but it was my aunt who was 99 years old, so she lived a very very long life. She was very very blessed, and anyway. I mentioned to Lucy last week that she should mention to you because I feel like Barbie, this is just my prediction. I feel like during Q4, I think back to school, I'm thinking for Halloween costumes and Christmas, that Barbie is going to be hot because there was this Barbie movie. And And you know me, I like to follow what's going on in the celebrity world. So Kim Kardashian threw a Barbie themed birthday party for her daughter. And I think this was like 2 weeks ago now at this point. Now, I personally don't really necessarily care about Kardashians or not, but they have a huge fan base. And so it's like if the Kardashians are into Barbie and throwing a Barbie party, all the young moms out there, may want to jump on that popularity bandwagon too. So we even have some celebrities getting into some of the Barbie stuff. I've seen some lady newscasters even talking about the Barbie stuff, like, oh, I can't even get that song out of my head, and so I really think that the Barbie bandwagon is going to be hot. And they showed pictures of the Kardashian girls all wearing pink pajamas. They weren't branded. They didn't have Barbie on them, and I think they were like. I can't remember now when I saw the picture, but they were like those long ones that are, what are they called? Where it's like a onesie. It's like
Like
that
a
one
jumpsuit?
piece. Yeah, they were wearing, it looked like that I, in my mind's eye, what I remember. And it was just solid pink pajamas. So I'm thinking even solid pink pajamas, or like that back to school bundle that was on Lucy's screen that was all pink. In your advertising, you can't put it in your listing because Barbie's a trademarked word, but in the back end, you could have advertising against, Barbie back to school, because girls that like Barbie would like maybe something all pink. That's just a guess. I'm just guessing, but that's really cute just because it's all pink. I like that theme, and it stands apart from other back to school bundles. It stood apart to me because it looked really girl friendly.
Yeah, and it's very neutral. I mean, we've got space here,
Mm-hmm.
which Saturn's been really close. My daughter and I, we've been trying to look at the Saturn pictures. We've got unicorns, so you could keyword with both space, unicorns, astronauts. Space has just been kind of a big topic, and so is submarines now, right now. But we're not
Yeah,
going to go there. Not a good topic. And then this bottom Crayola thing almost looks like Daiso store stuff.
it really does.
I love the Daiso store. My daughter absolutely loves that. Both my kids love anything with overseas stuff. They're very much in the anime and all that crud. So let's see here. I wanted to bring up, I think I brought up two bolos. Yeah, two bolos that have been hot year over year that kind of just have inspired me. I have both made a lot of money and I've had these tanks. So kind of you got to see how the market is and all of that. But you can start ordering cases of Q4 stuff probably like now. A lot of people are starting to put in their orders for Q4 stuff like now. Uh, let's see here. I wanted to do the year. So if I go and expand all that, these got up to $15 to $19 during the October, November. Then they kind of went down to 12, 13, and they were about a $5 buy cost. So let me see here. If I put in 5 right now, if we change this just to 12, we could put it in small and light, and you'd be making 30% ROI, which is not the greatest. I'm just saying that these guys are great to use as an idea for other bundles and or look at the velocity when you're going, because there's some merchant fulfilling opportunities if you hit the market right with these guys. And there's a lot that are like this. You'll find the single pack, the 2-pack, the 4-pack, the 6-pack. It's kind of like Peeps. There's a bajillion listings you can get on. The other one that I like is dinos. Always keeping my eyes out for dinos. I love when I'm retail arbitraging at the stores, these types of items come in cases that have 3 or 4. I know Tina's talking about this quite a bit. And
Mm-hmm.
1 or 2 may not be great, but there's going to be one that does great. And this is what we focus on in our BOLO groups, is finding those 1 or 2 that are good.
Yeah.
The one-off
It's
that
what they
really,
call, yeah, it's what they call a short.
oh,
So
okay.
when stores get the case packs of these toys, um, there's always one that is called the short, and it's because um, expect it to be the least popular of the dinosaur. So let's say there are 4 different kinds of dinosaurs, and of the, the Tyrannosaurus Rex one is the favorite. That case pack might have, 3 of the Tyrannosaurus Rex because all the kids want that. But then the least popular one, let's say it's the Brontosaurus, there'll only be 1 in that case pack. That is how Fisher Price or whoever the toy company is packs them for the retail stores. So in the case pack, there's always one that's a single of it. And let's say it's the Brontosaurus. So they call that one the short. Well, that's the one for us as resellers that always goes for the most money, because there are those that want to get all of the characters and they have a hard time finding that one due to it being the short. So if you are into toys and you want to figure out which one is the short in a collection, that is more than likely going to be your winning toy.
Don't discount going and back searching somebody else's store. Mr. Nice Toy has been around. I've poked around in his spot. Not everything you see, just so you know, when you hit somebody's store and you're looking at it, the first page is not always like the best sellers or what you should be looking at. From what we can tell, we've looked and we've seen no rhyme or reason on what gets shown on that first page when you look at somebody's store. So keep that in mind. We've poked around at people's stores and then asked them like, okay, here's what the first page is. Is this a good seller? And like, no, that's garbage. That's garbage. That's old. I'm, price tanking this because I'm trying to get rid of it. So just keep that in mind when you're reverse sourcing, like this Cheaters, which is, I think that'd be fun. I'd love to get this game. I don't own it yet. It's going for, let's see here, Mr. Nice Toy has it. You can get it at Walmart for $14.99. Oh, that's
and that one's collectible, very good, you see. So
Yeah,
those are
no.
not the used price, and you want to keep that in mind when you're sourcing. Sometimes when I am
$15.99.
yeah, looking at repricing, I see the lowest price and I think, wow, why are they pricing it so low? And when you actually click in there, you realize, oh, they're not selling it new. And that goes back to the beginning of our show, talking about the conditions in which Amazon lets you sell something in our inventory lab accounts. This is a good example right here that you are allowed to sell these Monopoly games in used condition. So going back to the eBay story of going out to thrift stores, if you found one of these games at the thrift store and it was in really great shape and you looked inside and you accounted for all of the pieces and parts, you can list this on Amazon in used condition. If you've never sold used on Amazon before, you can actually take pictures of your item just like you would on eBay for Amazon. So if a shopper actually clicks yours in the used condition, that seller can have their own information about what kind of condition it's in. The box has bent corners, or something is missing, the red player piece is gone, whatever they want. They can also put pictures of the actual game that they have, just like you would on eBay. It doesn't show up on the main image in Amazon, but it will show up under that seller's link if they added those photos. So just in case none of you have ever sold used on Amazon, I wanted to let you know that you can in fact add images of your item specifically.
So just an example of that. This one's a retro, but it looks like just it was printed with retro. But some of the older Monopoly games you can put together for Amazon and or eBay. I wanted to point out here that the lowest FBA is $15.99, and this guy's got it for $23.99. So he probably bought it at a higher price and is just holding out to try and get his ROI back. But that's an example of when you're looking at this guy's store, it says 23 and you might be like, oh my God, I need to go look for that. I saw that at Target the other day for $7 on clearance. But when you dive into it, it's like, wait, no, when you bring it down and you go down to where it's at right now, because it's tanked down, it's not a good buy. So the other one, there was one more that I brought. Okay, dinos that. This one was Squishmallows, and it's not available anymore. So hold on, I'm gonna do Squishmallow. I couldn't find any of the Squishmallows I had from last year, but I love looking and kind of trolling Squishmallows. We see those go in and out of stock. I like going to the Learning Express. We have a store that's really close to us, and they will constantly be clearancing out and I love the Halloween ones do really well. Last year, Hocus Pocus did well.
Yeah,
I think
those were hard to find all of them because the Hocus Pocus ones, the best-selling listing was if you got all three of the witches.
yep. Yeah, I did that. I had to do merchant fulfilled because it's like gigantic to ship. It's huge. What else? Windy. I think Windy's going to be big this year. All right. I think that is all I had for that share wise. Did you have anything else? Let me poke around for a second. Did you have anything else
Anything?
on the show and tell that I needed to bring up?
No, not really, but I will say that, all right, so I know this is silly, but can you see the Kardashian stuff here?
Good Lord.
See, these
Yes.
are all the pictures from the Kardashian Barbie party. See, they went big. And not only that, there's a ton of stuff on Pinterest about it. You can see that Jessica Simpson, when she also has some Barbie themed parties, and then if you go on Pinterest, there is a lot of Barbie themed parties. So we already discussed it. I just wanted to simply share that look, it's out there.
Oh, hold on. Got rid of our faces. There we go. Yeah. Some of these, this does not, I don't think that says Barbie, but it is clearly for a Barbie party.
Geared for that. That's right.
Mhm.
And I sold this year during Easter some Barbie themed Easter baskets that I put together as a bundle, and I blew out of them.
Look at these ones, cute little miniature travel cases. I want those. But great little party gifts. My go-to would be marketing towards bachelorette parties or divorce parties or anything for the older ladies, because I mean, we all wanted to be Barbie when we were little, right? It was we didn't have much choices. Now they got all sorts of choices at the stores. But like my daughter, she was never into Barbie. She was like, I could care less. She likes the other things going on. But I would market towards adults because we would have a blast, my girlfriends and I, with this type of thing, just having fun.
When I was in the salon, when one of the girls that worked the front desk turned 21, the other young girls made for her a birthday cake. And it
Mm,
was so funny. I don't know if you've ever seen them. It's like drunk Barbie. I
no,
could probably find the photo on my phone. Oh my God, it's
no,
hysterical. So
I'm
they
just searching
had
it.
she was 21, and so they had her Barbie birthday cake, and it had Barbie with, they made her hair all disheveled and she's laying out on the cake. And yep, there you go, drunk Barbie. Yep.
Barf and sprinkles. So there's your bundle idea.
Yeah.
Sprinkles, a Barbie. Oh,
Yep, drunk Barbie cake. It's a thing. And this was from years ago. I mean, this was probably, good Lord, 8 or 9 years ago that we had her drunk Barbie birthday party in the salon. You never heard of this? Yeah,
I
they're
I
funny.
probably have, but like I have these little candles that are little mini champagne bottles. I think you can get those wholesale
Yeah.
for next to nothing. A Barbie doll is easy to find, next to nothing. I mean,
Yep.
shoot, you could probably even get away with a non-branded Barbie
Yeah, and
doll to put in there.
generally you do this for like the girl's 21st birthday.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be fun. And as a customer, I'd totally buy that. Send me everything I need to make this Barbie cake for my
Drunk
daughter
Barbie
or
cake.
friend or
Yeah.
whatever. And I would pay up to not go and source that kind of stuff as a parent. Yeah, fun. Nate wanted to be Ken. I had a lot of the Barbies growing up. Like I said, we didn't have too much else. We had that or like the dolls at Rite Aid that were a little weird. They were like they weren't printed quite right back in the day. Their hair fell out. It's good times, good times. All that retro stuff is fun. Um, my kids like to use the word boomer as like an insult. I'm like, shut up.
They call you a boomer.
Though they definitely they'll say it, oh, this boomer came in and blah blah blah. I'm like, knock it off. Don't say that. My son used to work at the pizza store, and if you don't know this, it was Papa Murphy's last year. And Papa Murphy's is one of the stores that will take EBTs because you take and bake, so it can be used with the EBT card. So he'd get he'd say these boomers that came in with their EBTs and buy the $5 pizzas, and then they'd not tip and they'd complain about everything and be very grumpy and grouchy. And I'm like, they're just trying to feed their family. Shut up. You don't get, if you've never been hurting, then you need to shut up, because we've all, at least I've been there, where you don't have anything in your checking account and it's rough, man. There's been days in college where we ate top ramen for friggin' 5 days in a row. Don't tell me how you're suffering, child. Back in the days. All right. Do we have anything else? Did you ever eat top ramen?
I do not.
Do you
I
know
do not
how-
have nothing else. I shared all the things that I discovered this week.
Did you ever have to eat top ramen?
Oh, look, I was a single mom when I was young.
Oh, so
So,
yeah, you've
yes,
been there. You've been
I've
there.
got very bad horror stories. I had a sick child. I could not afford medical insurance, and he had breathing problems. And I've sold jewelry just to pay for his medication for his nebulizer machine. Yes, I have been very down and out in my younger years. But it taught me hard work. It taught
Exactly.
me good work ethics, and no one's going to feed you but you, unless you want to be a charity case.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've been there, done that. We borrowed hot dogs. Yep. We've made some creative stuff out of a hot dog and some top ramen. And there was this YouTuber that used to make different creative meals out of, in fact, there is a lot on how to feed six on like a nickel or something that were very inspirational. But yeah, my son, he started an internship and he got off of a 6-hour shift, and he's like, I'm so exhausted. I'm like, oh my God, shut up, child. You have been so pampered in your life, you don't even know. We are thinking he's going to learn some well, he did learn some hard lessons this year, but he's getting ready to learn some more. Like, just wait. There's a reason your mom coupons and shops discounts, honey. You do not know hard life. All right. Well, what are you doing today, Tina? What's going on?
Well, it's always Friday paperwork day. I brought my pile in here. This is what my pile usually looks like every Friday by the time I get to it. I've got some wholesaler catalogs that were mailed to me. That's another thing I do during the summer is I start shopping Q4 bundle ideas from my wholesale supplier. So that's another thing I do. So yeah, I'm doing paperwork. We're doing phone calls, all business related poo-poo stuff on Fridays. Nothing fun.
Nice. I was trying to find. I can't find it, but that's all right. Anyhow, What am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing. I got to look at my Trello board. I have some things on there that I got to do this morning. Some just upkeep. I got to damage out my returns. I've got some things to ship out, and then I got to load my car up. I got to drag some tables from work home for the yard sale, and some plastic bags, so people can put, if they want a bag, they can have a bag.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. And bags are 8 cents in my area. Do you guys pay for bags yet down there?
No. Nope. No paying for bags. But when you shop at the Savers thrift store, you have to pay for a bag if you don't bring in your own at the thrift store.
Yeah. So we have that, I think, everywhere. I'm not sure. I haven't been to all corners in Washington, but most of our areas is now that. But we're adapting. I mean, you do these changes, they're going to help the environment out. They were talking about with the whole sub-wreckage, the amount of ghost nets in the ocean that could mess people up. So it's a thing.
Yeah.
Want to be environmentally conscious as much as we can.
All right, you guys have a great weekend. Thank you for those who hung with us the whole time. And we hope you got some good tips out of anything that we shared, and have a great weekend.
Absolutely. Yeah. Have an awesome weekend, everybody. Good luck out there, whatever you're doing. If you're doing retail arbitrage or hitting the garage sales, I wish you lots of luck in finding good deals. Have a good day.
Yep. Bye-bye.